Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of How Did We Get Here? I'm your host, Jay Carter, and my man that's always heard and never ever seen Skeens.
What up?
Again, better than your average is the channel and the movement. How Did We Get Here is the show. We got two cousins that are like brothers talking any and everything and the process. How did we get here? Love, peace, and blessings. Want to welcome y'all to the show. This is going to be one of our quick hit hot topics, so to speak, but we want to welcome back again to the show one of our most favorite and special guests, Mr. Kai Phoenix. What's up, my brother?
Almighty. What's going on? Peace, Kings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We want to make sure we give Kai some round of applause.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, you have some great news for us since you were last on the show. If you could please tell the people.
I quit my job, man.
Man, again.
The pursuit of happiness, man. It's the pursuit of happiness.
Congratulations.
We have my wife and I, we've been playing this game of occupational tag, you know, for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
When I first met her, she was working 2 jobs. She come home crying. She hated her job so much. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I got to get her out of this.
Right.
When I joined the military, I was like, if you got to work, you work from home.
Right.
And that worked out. And then when she wanted to start her own business and quit her job, I got you.
Right.
She starts her own business. I transition, get out the military, and go into another job. It's sort of like sacrifice. This job makes me miserable.
Right.
But she's doing her thing. She's working from home. And finally, she gets to a position where she's making what she feels she deserves.
Right.
She's,
right.
you know, she's got a bachelor's, she's got a master's, but she never was really making what she deserved. She was unhappy. She gets to that point, and then her obligation is, I'm going to retire you.
Wow.
And she retired me.
Wow.
So now it's my time.
Congratulations.
To be successful.
Man,
Another
That's what I
applause.
want to do.
God. Jesus Christ. So again, that's
Almighty, man.
woo-wee. You got a real one, boy.
Yes, sir.
You know?
That's a real one, man. So
Don't
congratulations,
believe what
man.
they say about light-skinned chicks, man. Sometimes they do you good.
Man, that's beautiful, brother. I mean, we all aspire to get to that point to where we can kind of move from a place to what we have to do to what we want to do. And,
You got to, man.
to be able to focus your energies and your attention on your creativity and your writing. And, I mean, I'm just super duper excited for what's to come, man. So, again, salute to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Y'all, we're going to get right into our topic for today. Skeens and I were talking as usual, and he had the idea, and I'm going to let you, this is really his baby, you know what I'm saying? But he has a topic that he wanted to broach with us. What you got for us?
Okay. Well, we hear a lot of people always use the terms king, queen. But I wonder, do we sometimes lose the value or diminish the value of it when we're calling everyone king and queen when they don't exemplify those traits?
Okay. So,
Okay.
Kai, I'm going to defer to you. So, I think that when we use the term king and queen, it was a way for uplifting, right?
Correct.
Right? That was the intent of it. But in your opinion, though, is it where it's just willy-nilly for everybody that we giving the king and queen when it's not warranted? You know, we cats that's got horrible character. It's I lump it right up there when we telling we wear T-shirts of free my dude such and such, but he really did it.
It's becoming a participation trophy.
Okay, so I use the term heavily.
I know, so I said perfect person.
Now, I don't know. It's layered. The first thing about it is that calling another man king makes him uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I find that to be weird. As black people, you watch them. It makes them uncomfortable.
Right.
It makes me want to call people king until it becomes comfortable.
Okay.
Because king is not comfortable. But if I say, hey, what's up, my nigga? It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's a weird feeling, man. Calling somebody king, if you guys don't normally speak that way,
Right.
is equivalent to telling somebody that you don't normally talk to, like you talk to all the time, but the one day that you go, all right, I'll catch you later, man. Love you.
Right. 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 Right.
Watch that
Yeah.
hesitation.
Right.
The
And then
person loves you, but they don't know how to, because we're not wired that way.
right. Right.
So the question is, it's like, what do you mean it's not, what do you mean it's not warranted? Ain't none of us really kings and queens. Just whole purpose is to uplift. And I guess it's more about you than it is about them. They're not gonna call you king. Maybe they might get into the habit. I've had some people that have gotten to the habit, and it's just another thing. I was writing something, and when we could save it, this could be a topic that we could save for another day.
Okay.
And it's really, really heavy.
Okay.
We do a lot of Black pride, and we're proud to be Black, and we could describe a lot of things about why we are proud to be Black people. But on the real, man, being Black is a negative thing
Okay. How so?
globally.
Okay.
And the majority of our pride comes from the fact that so much negative things have happened to us. It is a reaction to the negative. And anybody that tries to convince you is not really looking in the right way. Our pride is based off all the degradation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reaction. It's not like real pride.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to build each other up because globally we're hated and beat down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's our history. It's just what it is. Now we have attributes about us that are great, like Black people. Like, what's the trope for Black women? Oh, they're so strong.
Uh-huh.
Strong means mostly everybody does everything they want to them, and they just take it and they survive despite of.
Okay.
But that's a trope. It's a negative thing. It's just something you got to come to grips with. So it's pretty much the same thing, man. If we're allowed to be proud that we are Black, then we should be allowed to call each other kings and queens.
Yeah. So the reason why I was looking at it as in the terms of when you say kings and queens, it should be a self-actualization moment, like like as you say, of uplifting and let people realize, like, hey, I'm more than what people think I am.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, a lot of people are diminishing the term because if I'm gonna call you king or queen, I want you to see it as a positive to challenge yourself to be better
Okay.
or live up to the term.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm calling you that and you're showing all of the worst qualities that people think about us, it diminishes the value. And it's like like Nas says, King's disease. A disease. What does a disease do?
But the king's disease that's based off of success.
Mm-hmm.
It's the accesses of success. Once you become super successful, all the poison that comes with the success of your world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you take somebody, you take a ratchet female, you really don't want to be associated with, and you don't want to call her queen. I completely understand that.
Right.
Correct.
And she ain't got no self-respect because nobody's ever shown her respect. How is she supposed to have self-respect? Because nobody respects her. She don't know what it's like.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it is becoming of the people that are around her and how they treat her.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't treat her right, she never respects herself. She has a daughter, and that poison is passed on.
Yeah.
They're never going to respect themselves because they don't know how to.
Right.
And they ain't going to teach themselves how to. Somebody's going to have to come along and teach them how to do that.
So that's our
And
question.
ain't nobody really investing in them. But you know what? Confidence is key. Call a person a queen enough. That's the simplest thing you could do. Maybe they might start seeing that that's possible. I know that that's real broad, but I don't know. You give a person a compliment enough, they'll start thinking like that.
I wonder though. I wonder though. Sometimes, Kai, is it again going back to understanding that we're trying to uplift each other,
That's it.
right? But then on the other side of the coin, we're saying this, and again, I guess the term of not. I don't want to say not deserving of the term, so to speak, but I wonder, is it something within, like you're talking about, where we have all of these things where we're not comfortable in complimenting each other. Basically, it's no different than how I came up. It was customary to walk up to a dude, kind of hug him and tell him he handsome. And a lot of times that makes dudes uncomfortable when I call him handsome. You know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder sometimes as black folks, is it almost like we feel like is it because of what we've been through that we almost have to quote unquote overstate it for us to feel like we're who we need to be?
We gotta build keep it in the realms of remembering that this is all imaginary.
Right.
Even in Africa, there wasn't a whole bunch of kings and queens running around.
Yep.
Right. That's one of my things that I always they were like, man, remember you a king, and I'm like, well, the reality of it, again, I understand the sentiment, but in a kingdom, there's a king, a queen, the prince, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, the princess, and then there's Kai was a cobbler. Mario, Skeen was a baker. Jay was a carpenter. You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just because I wasn't necessarily quote unquote a king doesn't diminish who I am anyway.
Right. It's all imaginary.
Right.
So if you keep that in the frame, you don't have to feel so many ways about it when you call it to somebody who does it. And you know what? Look, I'll paint the picture, especially so you can feel where I'm coming from. Right. At the end of the day, the people who you feel that we shouldn't call that are the exact people you should. It's sort of like being a Christian. You've got only one obligation. You only got one job. And that job is to be a fisher of men.
Yes, sir.
It's not to be around the people that believe the same thing you believe. You got to actually go to the people that don't. A lot of them get too comfortable just being around the congregation and rubbing elbows. Y'all don't really want to be around the dirty people.
Right.
I'll tell you the story. I used to work at this call center. And I had this lady that worked with me. Man, I loved her. Miss Sally. And she was super Christian. She reminded my mama. She's praying all day for everything. She loses a stapler. Father God, in the name of Jesus, I know that I'm going to find that stapler. She prays for everything all day.
Right.
We got the crazy white boy on our job. He has some sort of mental issue. And, he's talking to himself all loud. He'd have these fits. It makes black people nervous. He'd be like, I don't know.
Right.
I got my fountain pen.
How's this gonna go? How's this gonna go?
However it goes. There's too much fits and talking to himself over in that cubicle.
Right.
But, it is what it is. We didn't, understand whatever issue he had. At least he could function at that job. He just had issues. Now she prays all day, every day for the smallest things. But then she go, ooh, I can't be around that boy. That boy got the devil in him.
Right. Yeah.
We're like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I don't like the spirit. He got the devil in him. Like, you pray all day. Did you ever pray for him?
Right. Indeed.
You ask, like, God so well that he'll help you find your stapler. You couldn't go lay hands on my man over there?
Wow,
he needs it the most.
Yep, indeed.
So that's the same thing we do with these terms. They're the ones who need it the most. They're not deserving, but it's just an imaginary thing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just a habit. I call people kings, especially when I see that it's uncomfortable for them. That's what made me actually start using it. I saw it as like Hotep stuff.
Right.
But when you say it to somebody and you watch their reaction, it makes you feel bad. You don't even feel good about yourself.
Right.
Yeah. And it's just a simple mind change. You want people to hold you down, or you want people to lift you up? What do we say? Listen to our music. I want somebody that's going to hold it down, hold me down. No, don't hold me down, lift me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
It's a different mind change.
It's a shift.
So
Yeah.
I didn't start, it's like I wasn't a LeBron fan until the decision.
Really?
When I saw all the negativity, then I started rooting for the guy. It's the same thing with King. I didn't call people no king. You know me. What's up, my nigga? But when the first couple times I said king to somebody that I normally, and I watched them sort of like get defensive.
Right.
Like you got defensive with King?
Right.
That's what I'm gonna start saying from now on.
I'm not gonna touch the fact that you became a LeBron fan when it got controversial. But anyway, that's so you anyway.
You know it.
And we're talking to one of the biggest staunch Jordan criticizers
Wow.
in history.
Look, hold on. I like to state for the record.
Wow.
Put it out there in the public. I will be a hypocrite if I continue to criticize Jordan right now, especially within the last 3 years.
Okay.
Jordan you can tell he's had the older version of him sees the mistakes of his past.
Right.
And he has done a lot. And what he has done, especially within these last 3 years, has shut me up.
Okay.
I'm not going to criticize him no more.
Because you had all the smoke for every time I would look on Facebook, this dude is finding an opportunity to go in on MJ. I'm like, yo, come
now,
on.
If you want to have a basketball conversation, I still got some negativity for Jordan.
Wow.
I don't see how, but okay.
I got some negativity for Jordan. I'm not taking anything away from him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? His prime was better.
Okay.
He did more with his prime.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to hear. To me, that's we switching gears, but we'll go back.
Fair and balanced.
I think that my argument is that they say we've seen this. You know what I'm saying? We've seen somebody with a prime that was ridiculous. LeBron is going to be longevity of being able to play at this level for this long.
But also you got to factor
in
the way that the game was back then.
There is a 10-year-old walking around who has known nothing but LeBron James in the finals.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the man faced Dynasty Warriors, Dynasty Spurs twice.
Spurs fan. Spurs fan on there.
You already know. The man has faced dynasties. The only thing he didn't have, Dallas to me is his only flaw.
Okay.
When you lose into the best backcourt and the best shooter, best power forward and certified 3 Hall of Famers, the greatest coach of all time. Look, man, the circumstances were different. Mm-hmm. So, it can always be an argument, but you can't argue with certain amounts of perfection. I get it. On Jordan's side, he wasn't doing nothing when Magic and Bird and Detroit were in their prime.
Okay.
When they died out, Jordan was something that nobody ever have seen before.
Right.
Do you know how long it takes to adjust to something you've never seen before?
Right. Indeed.
And then there's only, to be completely honest, I think there's only one person in the Jordan era that ever actually felt like he could beat him. And that was Reggie Miller.
Okay.
Everybody else felt like Jordan was going to beat them.
Right. Yeah.
So you were already defeated.
Right. Yeah.
You're like the people that stepped in the ring with Michael in the 80s. You just wanted to get out of there.
Right.
Man.
Yes. It's the Mike Tyson effect. He definitely had that. It's the Tiger Woods effect. It's all of that same stuff with those greats. But going back,
but we went off.
It's all. But I think it was key point that you were talking about, and I think, and Skeens, let me not speak for you. I think that a part of what you're talking about is we can do a better job as a whole of exemplifying those things. Right.
Correct. Like,
it's incumbent upon us to do the small things to heal ourselves.
Right.
You can't be taught by people who hate you.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It's our job to heal ourselves. And if we can take what is considered the worst word of all times, turn it into a term of endearment, and then make everybody else jealous that they can't say it.
Right.
We can take a term like king and apply it to ourselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And just the fact that there's so much resistance on uncomfortability to it explains our toxicness. Yeah. And I say it all the time to people, but I'm much more comfortable calling you my nigga.
Right.
I say king, peace king all the time. It's not comfortable for me though.
Right.
It doesn't flow naturally. It's a conscious decision to greet you like that. I make the decision to call you a king. It's much more natural to call you a nigga. To tell you the truth.
And I think that's a part of the shift that we're talking about. But What do you think? And Skeens, I'll throw this to you. What do you think? Because for me, some of it is, I figure if we got to empower ourselves internally. I can't look for the love outside of me. It's got to be within me, with me being us, right? You know what I'm saying? So how do we shift the culture though to where we exasperate some of those negative things that we see and that we do applaud? You know what I'm saying?
We have to not become the things that we hate.
Right.
Correct.
And I say that from a personal standpoint, meaning I'm always changing my mind because you have to. If you're not editing yourself, if you're not self-aware, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I became self-aware and come into consciousness, I was part of that. You know, black man is the original man. We are the gods of this earth and all of that stuff like that.
Right.
There's one thing to build yourself up. It's the other thing to be the superior man.
Right.
So how is that any different than the Klan?
Right.
In trying to uplift myself, I
Right.
put myself above them.
Right.
And it took me years to go, man, all of that is bull.
Yeah. It's hypocrisy.
You can say, what, like, even if it's not bull, what does it mean for me right now?
Right.
If I walked around right now, said black man is the original man, what does that have to do with anything? Turn on the news and I'll show you what that means.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
It means nothing. We
Yeah.
ain't superior to nobody.
Right.
And that's the problem. Because when you say peace king, you think of the hotep, you think of that which comes with it, and nobody believes that. Or nobody cares about that. Nobody wants to hear that. They're going to say that famous Minister Society thing. Nobody wants to hear that bull, Sharif.
Yep.
Don't uplift me. Don't
Yep.
teach me how to live right. I don't want no positivity. Get
Yep.
off the cooler so I
Yep.
can
Get
some
up off
alcohol.
that box so I can get me whatever he said. I
Yeah.
can't remember the line, but yeah.
Yeah. Get off the cooler
Yep.
and let me destroy myself.
Yes,
Move.
please.
Stop trying to. I don't believe that. I don't,
Yep.
reality is showing me that all that uplifting stuff means nothing.
Right.
That's what we're fighting.
I think one of the main things we have to do is we have to first redefine as well as redesign what's cool.
Right. That's what we're trying to do. Indeed. Yeah.
And it needs to. We have to.
That's the issue. That's the issue that we're facing.
right.
We're trying to make each other feel like it's going to be okay, and reality is telling you, no, it's not. Stop lying to yourself.
Right.
Don't lie to me. Don't waste my time with that king stuff, man. I know what it is.
And I think a lot of times we're looking for the home run instead of accepting the bunt
Okay.
or getting walked to first base.
Okay. Say more.
Scoring is scoring.
So,
But we're in
it's
the
all about relentlessness.
yeah, and that's what I'm
persistence.
saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Instead of looking at the highlight packages of ESPN, you want to see the dunk.
Right.
But instead of understanding the work that comes with getting to before you dunk.
Okay.
So we have to embrace the work.
Right. Indeed.
That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about when we use certain terms. I want to see exponential growth within that term and people to realize that, hey, I'm not what society tells me I am.
Right.
I want to debunk a lot of those myths about us to show people that, hey, we are what we claim we are when we tell each other that we're king and queen, and we want to show, hey, the next generation, you too can be it. That's why I started calling kids future. I see them. What's up, future?
Right.
I let them finish the finish the sentence. Are you a future doctor? Your future lawyer? Future
Right.
whatever it is. When I call you future,
Right.
you finish it.
Yep.
And it opens up the minds and the possibilities of what is available and what could be. So when we use the term kings and queens, I want people to understand that, hey, man, I am a king. What a king of what? What type of king can I be?
Right. Right.
Not
King is just, it's just a counteract. It just brings balance because society calls you criminal,
Yep.
suspect,
Yep.
suspicious. Got to balance that out with some king. But change does not come with the big things. Change comes with the small things.
Yep.
It's the small details, man. As a writer, if I'm writing a story or a movie or something like that, it's the little details that make it real in your mind.
Yep.
Right.
Right? If you watch the Marvel movies, you watch Thor and Captain America, and then you watch Black Panther. The thing that makes Black Panther more real than Thor is that they were cooking food in the city.
Mm.
That small little detail
Right. Yep.
made Wakanda real in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Asgard looks like CGI. They're cooking ribs in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Right.
That's real to me. And now I'm hungry. The little is it's the small details that makes things real in your head. So
Right.
if you stay persistent on the smaller things, you can change the bigger things. You can change the outlook.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know
right.
how stupid we sounded in the 80s talking about, nah, it's nigga with an A, not an ER.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
But that
Small
pushed a
thing.
whole culture, which is now culture.
Yep. Indeed. Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
There was a dude I used to watch that would break down film. I can't think of what his name on YouTube was, but his term he would always use is small things, all things. And he's talking about in boxing, the small little intricacies of the game are what can put you in or out of position of a punch and all this other kind of thing. So it's small
Yeah.
things, all things, man.
It's the
So
small things.
yep.
If you wanted to be a rapper in the 90s or successful in the early 2000s, your rap video was going to be a fantasy. It's going to be full of $1 million and all of that stuff like that. You rented the cars. You didn't have no money
Right.
until you had money.
Yep.
I said I was a cash money millionaire, and then I became a millionaire.
Right. Yep.
I just persisted with that small thing, and I pushed it until it became a reality to somebody.
Right. Now I was talking to, and I'm curious to get your take on this, and we'll wrap this little quick take up real quick. But what do you think, even coming from, all of us are hip hop heads and loved it and loved the real rap and all this other kind of stuff. What is your take on, Kyle? Why do we romanticize with the street? Why? What is that? What is that thing? What is that draw? What is that? To quote Jay-Z, what is the allure? What is the allure of that?
The story of black people is hardship. I told you,
Mm-hmm.
being black is a negative thing. The story of being black is hardship, and we accept you because you've been part of the burden, right?
Okay.
If you came over here on the British Mayflower, a free man, you don't get as much respect as those who was down. I was sleeping diagonal with this guy
Right.
at the bottom of the slave ship.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't been through nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all want that negativity. I said I came to a realization that if you look at my family background, I'm a person that came from divorce,
Right.
but my father was always around,
Yeah.
always a strong father,
Yeah.
always a proud father. Then I had a stepfather
Yeah.
who came and was younger than my mom, and she had 3 kids, borderline teenagers,
Yep.
and he stepped into those shoes. He didn't have to do that. I've been in a situation where I couldn't walk into a makeshift family because I just wasn't strong enough to do that.
Yeah.
He did that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had uncles, I've had teachers, I've had coaches. I come from a tradition of proud black fathers, but I wanted the story of not having a father. So the divorce was enough for me to push my raps like I didn't have nobody. I didn't come from nothing.
Got you.
And it's bull.
Yeah.
It's tradition in my family to have strong black men around you. In the church, deacons, all these deacons and elders wanted you. Like, I had black men waiting in line to want to be there for me.
Yep.
But I wanted the struggle of not having a male figure because I come from divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And I was well into my 30s before I realized that's bull.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I come from a tradition of men wanting me
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
because I want that hardship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the allure of the street is. We want the hardship, therefore people can take us seriously.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like when Vince Staples said, "Americans, we sell trauma, black trauma."
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. We was
He
talking
talked about
that. Yeah.
we sell black trauma, and as bad as
it's just a rites of passage, man.
yeah,
It's
and
just a rites of passage. But it's not just a black thing. It's everywhere. You
Yeah.
join a fraternity, you're going to have to get degraded. You're going to have to get embarrassed and
Yep.
submit until you earn their respect. You join the army, you're going to have to go through basic training where you're treated like crap until you earn their respect. You got to go through something before you can earn value.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds come from dirt. You
Yep.
got to mine them.
Yep.
It's just a mindset. And so the streets are the ultimate thing because that's what we all have in common: poverty.
Yep. It's crazy.
Indeed.
And you look at the thing, if you can survive, you get the respect.
Yep.
Not much surviving in college, but in jail,
Right. Yep.
but in jail, you survive jail, and you do it upright. As intellectual as I am now, the guy that doesn't snitch still appeals to me.
Yep.
Right.
You know what? It's crazy when you say that because it was somebody we watched on TV, and he made the comment. He said, "When a cat graduates from college, no one says anything. You may get one or two congratulations,
but let a dude get out of jail.
Let a dude get out of
Come
jail.
home from jail.
Everybody, the whole block out there celebrate.
Right.
It's like we stand in line, wait our turn to dance with the devil.
Right. So I think that's what it, guys, is, again, talking about the shift of the mind, the shift in our thinking, the shift in our actions, and the shift in what we're trying to do. Again, 3 black men here, trying to shift what we're saying is cool. You know what I'm saying? So peace to all the kings and queens out there. And you can exemplify those things that you want to be. You know what I mean? You don't have to take the struggle route to prove that you're somebody. You know what I mean? It's the same. Somebody was telling, I can't remember, it was a meme or something I saw, and it was like, black folks mess with you about being prepared. Like, you go to the bus stop and it's about to rain. Oh, this dude got an umbrella. Look at this dude. He got an umbrella. Look at this dude. Oh, he got his books for school. Look at this guy. You know, so again, it's because we come from so much trauma and pain. Our way of dealing with it was developing these coping mechanisms like
Crazy.
this.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Because of all the pain, all the struggle, how can I deal with this and make it day to day? And that's where this stuff comes from. So anyway, that's our hot take to the kings and queens and the hoteps and the princesses and the princess, all that. So much love and peace to you guys. Again,
Almighty.
Go to, again, we need y'all. Subscribe, comment, even if you think we trash, you think Kai's crazy, whatever it is.
You may be on to something. But you know what? No matter what they say, I made more sense than I made mistakes.
Boom, there you go. So again, on that note, I'm your boy Jay Carter, my man Skeens, and my man special guest Kai Phoenix.
The newly free Kai.
The newly free. Again, another episode of How Did We Get Here? We'll holler at y'all next time.